Uncertainty is the only certainty there is. Change is something you can bet on. And death, but let's leave that for another video. In life, there aren't many things that you can completely depend on, but change is always there. Whether that manifests in the form of things that you can or can't control, change is certain. The weather, life circumstances, your opinions on things, almost everything is subject to change, especially people, and that's where the power of choice comes in. Bigby Wolf is the main character in The Wolf Among Us, and his history is tumultuous and full of vengeance and resentment, at best. Now, a bit of backstory on this interesting character. Bigby was the runt of a 7-pup litter, yet he was the one who was adored by his mother, Winter Wolf, who promptly died tragically. Perfect grounds for a heart-wrenching backstory, and when I say heart-wrenching, I mean Jesus Christ. While his 6 brothers left the scene of their mother's death in search of their father, Bigby remained behind to protect his mother's corpse from scavengers, but was unable to defend her due to his small size. Bigby, fueled by the loss of his mother and her corpse, vowed to eat something bigger every day that passed. He ate insects, rodents, animals, even people, until he became big and strong enough to confront his father. It took 7 futile attempts for him to accept defeat and bury his hatred deep, deep down inside. Later on one of his rampages, he met Snow, who was being held captive at a camp in the Black Forest. Bigby Wolf freed her and was amused by her demeanour. She didn't seem as afraid of him as the rest of the camp was. They parted ways, but Snow tracked him down years later and cut him with a lycanthropy-stained knife, which granted him the ability to change into human form at will, hence the whole sheriff thing. As human beings, we're given the beautiful gift of choice, not choice in everything. I mean, you can't choose where you're born or who your biological parents are. There are many forces that are kind of exempt from our will as human beings, and many places in the world where some people don't have the privilege to make choices on certain things. But many things can be influenced by choice. The YouTube video we choose to watch while we're eating our lunch, yeah, I see you. The kind of music we listen to, the games we pick up during Steam sales and then never get around to playing.
Look at this dude.
These choices may sound trivial, but they serve a purpose. They're small little choices that add up to a whole being. You. The same goes for bigger choices. Who you currently are, who you want to be, how you treat people. These are just more of the same. They're choices. And some of these choices will, in some way or another, affect how people view you, and in turn, how they speak to you. During the interactions at the beginning of episode 1 of The Wolf Among Us, you quickly realise that Bigby is disliked. He's portrayed as an aggressive, self-serving and violent individual who doesn't care much for that which won't appeal to his supposed big bad wolf nature. Great. Fantastic. I mean, not really, but this is what provides you the data points you need as a player to determine how you want to play Bigby. What choices you want him to make. Is he a terrifying, recklessly messy and vindictive force of nature? Is he a sexy, silent and brooding man who has a darker side to him? Or is your Bigby a glowing figure for the people of Fabletown? You decide what you want Bigby to stand for. Whether you want to give the people of Fabletown confirmation of your relentless desire for retribution and continue his seemingly predetermined path as a contentious and vengeful lone wolf, or whether you want to change that narrative. The Wolf Among Us made me realise just how much I love choice-heavy games, and although your stance on what Bigby serves doesn't affect every in-game consequence, it introduces yet another choice. A bigger picture decision that you, the player, get to make and own up to. This dynamic of mistrust in Bigby from the others in episode 1, it extends throughout the whole game. Regardless of how many noble choices you make, you're still treated with the same cynicism, painted with the same brush you've always been painted with. And it really begs the question, how can you serve people that don't trust in you? How are you meant to stick up for the people you're supposed to protect when all of them just reduce you to your past? Toad fears you and is constantly BMing you during most of your interactions with him. Authoritarian Crane seems to think of you like a rowdy toddler who can't do anything right. You get under Snow's skin no matter what choices you make. As the player enjoying a little gaming after a busy day with a degree of separation between us and the character we're playing, we may not realise how much that hurts. To be in Bigby's position, constantly having these assumptions made about us, our true nature and our intentions, these assumptions that dictate how people speak to us and interact with us. How are you supposed to wake up every day and choose to protect these people who may very well believe that the force they need protecting from is you, when it feels like everyone in your life has already decided who you are for you? Is change really possible? Maybe. The friction that comes from others' disbelief in you could be disabling, plotting you in a vicious cycle, a pendulum state, swinging between, oh, I want to change, and, well, why should I when nobody believes in me? Or that friction could be the driving force itself that enables you to make that change. But even if you choose it, change doesn't happen overnight. These things take time and trial and error. Can you really expect a bunch of people who have seen or at the very least heard about your violent past to be more open-minded and patient with you during that process? When all conceivable evidence points towards plenty of reasons not to trust you? How could Bigby be a protector when he's known for eating people and violent tendencies? Is that really the people of Fabletown's fault for perceiving him through that lens? Is it really their responsibility to challenge that preconceived notion about who Bigby is when they don't see all the mindful journaling he's doing or the Eckhart Tolle that he's reading between cases? Player choice is a major factor in how the game plays out. Just like in life, how our choices make up a large portion of who we are, right? I mean, not really. Unlike life, the actual final ending scene in the game stays the same no matter what choices you make. But you do get to choose to a degree how the story plays out. You get to choose how you treat the people of Fabletown, whether you send those without glimmers to the farm or let them stay under certain circumstances, whether you want to glass the shit out of people or engage in a calmer, although maybe less effective, form of conflict resolution. Will you feed into this widely assumed narrative that Bigby is, was, and always will be the big bad wolf? Or do you want to reap the benefits of choice? Just a thought. Let me know what you think about choice, change, and the wolf among us. Whether you think I'm absolutely deeping this and should have just taken the opportunity to be a sexy, big bad wolf and beat the fuck out of everyone to assert my dominance. If you enjoyed this video, I am currently choosing to change my narrative and stop fucking buying games and not playing them. I'm clearing my backlog one stinky game at a time. Stinky? Who said stinky? I'm on game number 16, Cyberpunk 2077. I live stream on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So if you are looking, if you like the vibes and you want a fun and positive space to look forward to and enjoy at the start of every busy week, then come see me if you want. If you want to, no pressure. Just saying. I'll leave it in the description. As always, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next game review in this series, playing the Unplayed. Bow!